you should pay everybody? Is it a reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts. That's what it's for. You just got it.
Deep debt, and that is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
What unfolds when a so-called invincible mayor starts unraveling, weighed down by scandals and chaos at every corner? Hold tight, because that's the exact mess Mayor Tiffany Henyard is sinking into, and it's only getting worse. From intense confrontations in the boardroom to hidden legal wars, Henyard's hold on power is crumbling fast. And as everything collapses around her, the eyes of the world are locked in, anticipating her dramatic downfall. Prepare yourself for a deep dive into this wild story of power struggles, deceit, and, let's not forget, a tidal wave of lawsuits.
There a motion to terminate Keith Free.
It all kicked off as what appeared to be just another minor altercation at a public meeting, but things quickly spiraled out of control. You know those meetings where everyone tries to play nice, but there's an undeniable tension in the air? That's exactly what unfolded. Then, the bombshell dropped. An attorney, who was once one of Henyard's most trusted allies, decided it was time to reveal some jaw-dropping secrets. And this wasn't some petty rumor mill. He exposed questionable backroom deals, hinting at corruption and a complete abuse of power. Henyard's circle was starting to crack, and the optics? Terrible. The room fell into stunned silence, and the chaos that erupted next set the stage for her very public fall from grace.
I mean, unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. So, but like I said, just some.
So, what exactly did the attorney reveal? While the full details are still unclear, the clues that have surfaced paint a very troubling picture. It seems Henyard has been making some moves that are anything but clean. We're talking corruption, misappropriation of funds, and a string of questionable decisions now coming to light. And here's where it gets even messier. Her once loyal supporters are jumping ship, realizing that staying close to Henyard might just pull them down with her. The betrayals are piling up, and believe me, everyone's watching. This isn't just drama. It's a political catastrophe unfolding right before our eyes.
Make a one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon. And the main thing is,
Fallout from that meeting didn't stay confined to those walls. It set off a full-blown storm. Accusations began flying, and the public scrutiny of Henyard's leadership grew louder with each passing day. Former allies are now asking the tough questions. Why is she making moves that seem to benefit herself rather than the community? What's she really hiding? And, perhaps the most pressing question, how long can she keep up this charade before it all comes crashing down? That moment of betrayal was the tipping point, the spark that flipped public opinion. Henyard, once hailed as an unstoppable supermayor, is now a leader desperately clinging to whatever control she has left.
The administration can adhere to some financial limits. We're not looking to necessarily.
People are starting to take notice. Rude, arrogant, and condescending, Henyard needs a timeout, one commenter wrote, perfectly capturing the frustration that's been building for months. And they're spot on. Henyard's leadership is under fire from all angles, and her excuses aren't holding up anymore. Board meetings have turned into complete chaos. Attendees can hardly get a word in before she shuts them down. And when public figures start avoiding transparency, that's when you know something is seriously wrong. But the problems don't stop at the meetings. Legal troubles are mounting, and they're piling up far quicker than anyone anticipated. Rumors are swirling that Henyard is quietly building a defense team, and it makes sense. Lawsuits are cropping up left and right, many accusing her of financial mismanagement. Now, people are asking the obvious question, where is all the money going? But no one seems to have a clear answer. And that's a huge red flag. Even local news outlets are digging deeper. Fox 32 launched an investigation into Henyard's use of a police security detail. Officers pulled off the streets, costing taxpayers thousands. And if that wasn't enough, she's been spotted with some interesting company at public meetings. Yep, you guessed it, criminal defense attorneys. They've been sitting right beside her, raising even more questions. Is Henyard gearing up for something major? Speculation is running wild that these lawyers are preparing to defend her against serious criminal charges. Because let's face it, when do you start seeing criminal defense attorneys at a local board meeting? That's when you know things are going south. And the community? They're catching on. She wants no accountability for anything. She's clearly involved, but still acts like she's the boss of everything. One observer pointed out, the frustration is undeniable. Henyard's attempts to hold on to control don't look like leadership. They seem more like desperate attempts to save face. The cracks are starting to show, but it doesn't end there. The lawsuits aren't just about corruption. One of the biggest scandals involves a local business owner being denied a business license, and it stinks of political motives. Meet Tyrone Esam Jr., a barber who invested his time and money into buying and renovating a property, only to be shut down with no explanation. And this isn't a one-off incident. Henyard's administration has been accused of making licensing decisions based on personal or political agendas, rather than following the rules. Normally, getting a business license is simple. Just meet zoning and safety regulations, and you're good to go. But in Henyard's world, not so fast. Instead of being given a chance to fix any issues with his application, Esam was completely shut out. No questions asked. Which leaves people wondering, was this really about public safety? Or was Henyard pulling strings behind the scenes for her own benefit? The lack of transparency is troubling. And it's just one more piece of a much bigger puzzle, a growing picture of corruption that's becoming impossible to ignore. As one frustrated local explained, it's not about clickbait, it's about making sure the right thing is done. And it's not just business owners feeling the impact. The entire community is starting to speak out loud and clear. People are fed up with the chaos surrounding Henyard's leadership, and many are demanding real transparency and accountability. The trust in public office is at an all-time low. And as more details come to light, one thing is becoming crystal clear. Henyard's time in power may be running out. At recent meetings, her combative style has only made matters worse. She refuses to take responsibility for any of the accusations against her, constantly deflecting with vague, defensive responses. Take the business license scandal. When directly asked about it, Henyard had no real explanation. Instead, she blamed the system and sidestepped any direct involvement. And let's be real. Answers like that only raise more suspicions, because if she had nothing to hide, why not just come clean?
Guys, it's the super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor, and
Governor J.B. Pritzker has been questioned about the growing scandal surrounding Henyard, and while he sidestepped specifics, his response spoke volumes. He made a point to distance himself, emphasizing the need for integrity and transparency in public office. But here's the thing. Why would a governor need to remind everyone about the basics of good governance? That's a clear sign that something's seriously off. Pritzker's refusal to directly address Henyard's legal issues speaks for itself. It's almost like he sees the storm coming and wants no part in it. Behind the scenes, concerns over Henyard's handling, or rather mishandling, of community finances are growing by the minute. Reports indicate that the township's financial records are a disaster, and with multiple investigations already underway, it's only a matter of time before more dirt comes to light. There are whispers that federal authorities are diving into Henyard's spending habits, and if the rumors are true, the findings won't be pretty. A disappointment. That's how trustees are describing the situation. Many of them claim they were blindsided by the revelations and are now rushing to secure legal counsel to figure out their next move. It's not just officials who are distancing themselves. Residents are too, realizing that staying too close to Henyard could have serious repercussions. And honestly, can you blame them? There are too many lawsuits, too many accusations, too many unanswered questions. Right now, sticking with Henyard feels like standing on sinking sand. It's clear, her once solid grip on power is slipping away fast. The combination of legal troubles, public outrage, and increasing pressure from higher authorities is creating a perfect storm, one Henyard may not weather. With every new lawsuit, every new accusation, her credibility continues to erode. The community is no longer just watching. They're demanding change. Henyard's leadership has been defined by scandal after scandal. Sooner or later, she's going to have to answer for it. So, what's next? Will the so-called super mayor find a way to hold on to power? Or will the endless pile of lawsuits and controversies finally take her down? As one resident put it, there must be deals happening behind the scenes, because there's no other way to explain how things got this out of control. One thing is certain, Henyard's days of hiding in the shadows are over. The spotlight is on her, and it's not going anywhere. As more voices call for her resignation, the real question is, how long can she hang on? And when she finally falls, who will be left to clean up the mess she's created? Only time will tell. But make no mistake, this drama is just beginning. Will Henyard face the legal consequences she deserves? Or will she somehow manage to cling to her seat? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And stay tuned, because this story is far from over.